Hello friends, and welcome to this gentle foot and ankle practice. Now, I know feet might not be the first thing that you think of when you think about yoga, but if you experience stiffness, aching or discomfort in your feet or ankles, then this practice is going to feel so good for that area of the body. For today's practice, you are going to require a chair, so a nice sturdy chair, and also if you have one, a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you could use maybe a thick book or maybe stack a couple of books on top of each other. So whenever you're ready, take your seat and let's get started. Okay, so we're going to begin with a little warm up for the feet first. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross the left ankle over the top of the right leg. So you could extend the right leg out if you needed to. You could have a bend in the knee, just however it feels the most comfortable. Maybe even if this didn't feel accessible to you, you could maybe have another chair or stool or something in front of you to put your foot on. We're going to rub the hands together. So rub. The hands a nice little rub. So you're creating that heat in the palm of your hands. And then once that heat is built up, you're just going to start to rub over your feet. So over the soles of the feet, over the top of your foot, getting into your toes. So if you're anything like me, I always have like really cold toes. So this feels really nice. It's nice and soothing when you just have that heat on your feet. You can go over the heel, maybe just take a little rub into your ankle. Wonderful. Perfect. Okay. Let's come to a stop. We're going to keep the leg where it is. We're going to take the fingers and we're going to pop them in between the toes. Now this can be a little bit tricky, especially if your toes are like really close together, but then you're going to get a nice good grip on your toes. And then we're just going to take a little push back and forth. So just nice and slowly, holding for a second or two, and then bringing the toes the other way. Just having a little, gives you a little stretch here on the top of the foot. Gently going back and forth. So we do need to do this like quite slowly, especially if you have any inflammation or anything in your toes. And if this didn't feel good, you could miss this part out. But this is just a nice way of just kind of getting into the toes, giving them a little stretch and getting a little bit of blood flow to them. You might notice that they start to warm up when you do this. Perfect. So you can just do this a few times back and forth, as many times as you feel you need. Sometimes just kind of give yourself like 10 or 15 back and forth, and then you can come to a little stop. Perfect. We're going to release the leg down to the floor. Then we're going to interlace the fingers underneath that left thigh. And we're just going to lift the leg up just enough off the floor, whatever's comfortable. You're not trying to draw your knee to your chest or anything like that. Do try and sit nice and tall when you do this. Let the lower half of your leg be nice and relaxed, and then just start to rotate your foot. And just like before, 10, 15, just to begin with, whatever feels the most comfortable. We're waking up, warming up that ankle joint. And again, you kind of get into a little bit of a stretch on the top of the foot. Let's take it in the opposite direction. So try not to hold your breath here as well. Always just keep breathing. Don't need to think too much about how you're breathing. Just make sure that you are breathing. Perfect. And then stop. And then we're going to do a little point and flex. So we're going to point the toes down to the floor and then lift the toes up. You're pressing the heel down towards the floor. So a little point and flex. We could do just like 6 of these. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Lovely. Let the leg relax down. Perfect. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So crossing that right ankle over the left leg. Again, you could extend the left leg if you need to, whatever's comfortable. We're going to create that heat in the hands. Rubbing, just to get them nice and warm. And then once you feel that heat building up, you're going to take it straight to your feet and instantly just start to warm them up. Give them that nice soothing feeling. And especially if you are somebody that has cold feet, you know, sometimes the circulation in the lower half of our legs isn't that great, and it's the feet that suffer. So just giving them a nice little rub like this is perfect. Remember to give the ankle a little bit of attention as well, maybe go around the back of your heel. Perfect. Okay, and then we go in with the little gripping again, so fingers gripping in between the toes. So you might have to just help yourself get them in. Perfect. Get a good grip and then nice and gently go back and forth. So make sure to go slow, don't rush it. Perfect. Just a few times, back and forth. Wonderful. And then just gently release. Let's let the leg come down to the floor. We're going to interlace the fingers underneath that right thigh this time. Again, just lifting up, make sure your posture stays nice and tall. Lower half of the leg is nice and relaxed. And we're going to start with those little ankle rotations. Remember to keep breathing. And again, just like 10, 15, whatever feels good. And then take it the other way. Wonderful. And then just stop, let the foot relax for a moment, and then we're going to point and flex. So pointing the toes down to the floor, nice big point as far as you can, and then lifting up, pressing the heel. We point down and lift and down. Lovely, couple more of those. Point and then flex, point and flex. Wonderful, let the leg relax. Let that foot come down to the floor. Okay, so now you're going to need your block or your books, whatever it is that you've got, and you're going to place it so it's going to come underneath your foot. So let's start actually with the left foot first, because we've been going left leg, then right. So what you want to do is make sure that your toes are over the end of the block, and you're going to just kind of grip your toes around the end of the block here. You can sit nice and tall, maybe your hands rest on your lap, or maybe you grab hold of your chair for a little bit more support. And as your toes are gripping the front of the block, you're going to slowly lift the heel up, squeezing it up. You're really going to feel it in your calf muscle as well. So it's a nice little strengthener for your calves as well. And then really slowly, still keep gripping with the toes, nice and gently lower the heel down. So let's just do like 5 of those. Grip and lift, lift, lift. And then really slowly lower the heel down. Keep gripping those toes, lift up, and then nice and slowly lower down. Takes a little bit of focus when you do this. Keep gripping the toes, lift up, squeeze, 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 and then really gently lower down. Last one, grip the toes, squeeze the heel, and then nice and gently lower down. Just relax the whole foot now. And then if you want to, you can just give the back of your calf muscle a little bit of a rub here. Perfect. So now let's take that to the other side. So just moving the block, rest the right foot on top. So you want to inch the foot forward so that your toes get a nice grip over the edge, like you're really kind of squeezing the toes against the block. Again, you might hold onto the chair or hands on your lap, and then as you're gripping, slowly lifting the heel up, squeezing it up as high as you can. Really slowly lower down. That's 1. Keep squeezing and then lift that heel up, up, up. Gently down for 2. Keep squeezing, we lift that heel up, and then down we go for 3. Keep squeezing, lift, 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 squeeze, 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 and down for 4. Last one, really squeeze as hard as you can this time. Lift the back of the heel, up, up, up. Perfect, and then nice and gently lower down. Let the foot relax, especially the toes. You might give the toes a little wiggle if you needed to. Wonderful. And then just take a rest for a moment. Maybe you take a breath, and then we're going to stand up. Okay, now standing at the back of your chair, we're going to do some little heel lifts from here as well. So make sure that your feet are about hip distance apart, hands are on the back of your chair. And then when you're ready, take an inhale and slowly start to lift both heels up, up, up. Now we're going to hold it here. So you're gaining a little bit of strength in the toes here. This is like really great for strength in the toes. You're definitely going to feel it in those calf muscles again here as well. So standing nice and tall, squeezing those heels up. Let's take a big breath in. Exhale. Wonderful. Let's take one more nice long breath in and let it go. Perfect. Really slowly lower your heels down to the floor and then just kind of take a little walk with the feet, little stamp from side to side. Maybe you give the toes a little bit of a wiggle. Perfect. Come back to center. We're going to do that again. So whenever you're ready, nice big breath, slowly, slowly lifting the heels. So you're pressing the balls of the feet, pads of the toes, every single pad of your toes, all 10 toes, pressing into the mat. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the heels up. We take a nice big breath in. Exhale. Keep squeezing. Inhale. And exhale, nice and slowly lower all the way down. Perfect. Have a little wiggle of the toes, little stamp out of your feet again. Wonderful. Okay, let's take it into a little bit of balance now. So you might just come to stand at the side. Let's say left leg first. So your left leg is going to be level with the back of the chair. Left hand is going to hold on to the chair. So we're going to make sure that all the weight is in this left leg and that left foot is fully planted down to the floor. So again, make sure all those pads of your toes are pressing firmly into the floor. You can feel the heel pressing. And then let's place the right hand on the hip. We're going to take an inhale and nice and slowly just lifting your right leg off the floor. So you can take a little bend into the knee and you're just going to stand nice and tall. And again, this is just like building that strength within your feet. Now, this can give you a little bit of discomfort. So as soon as it does that, I want you to put your foot down, okay? Don't stay there too long if this is gonna hurt your feet. But just going back to this regularly, even if you're only holding it for say 5-10 seconds at a time, is really gonna help build up the strength in your feet. If it's causing you pain, then don't do it at all. We don't want to be feeling pain, okay? So a bit of an ache or some sort of kind of, oh, I think I've been there too long. Yes, we need to rest. But pain, no, that's your body telling you that this little exercise is not for you. Okay, so if that felt okay, you did have a little lift and it felt good, just let the foot come down and then just take the foot out. Just take a little rotation of your foot one way and then the other. And then we're just going to come back to it. So just one more time. So again, think about really rooting the foot down to the floor. Make that standing leg nice and strong. Making sure that you're holding onto your chair. And then when you're ready, just nice and gently lifting the foot. You're not trying to lift your knee super high either. It's just enough off the floor. You're gaining a little bit of balance here. And also you're just strengthening up the leg. Take a couple of breaths if you can. I always try and say to take at least 2 nice big deep breaths. And then on that third breath, nice and gently lower down. Okay, so let's take that to the other side. So you can turn around or you can turn your chair. Right leg is next to the chair, right hand is holding. Start by bringing your awareness down to your foot. You're just planting each of those toes, planting the heel down to the floor. Lovely, making it nice and strong. Left hand is going to come to the hip. And then when you're ready, you're just lifting off the ground. So really, if you can, just focus in on that right foot. That's where you're building that strength. You're also building strength in your ankle as well. So you're really going to feel it there as well. 2 nice big breaths if you can. Listen to your body though. If it starts to feel uncomfortable, put the foot down and take a rest. Wonderful. So just let's lower down. Let's just bring a little bit of life back to that right foot and leg again. A few rotations, one way, then the other. Perfect. And then we're going to go back to it one more time. So again, rooting the foot down to the floor And then when you're ready, lifting, holding it here. Lovely, breathing, nice deep breaths. Imagine you're breathing into that foot, into your ankle. Each exhale, you're letting go of some of that stiffness or tension you're holding there. Perfect, nice and gently. Come back down, give some life back to that foot again and into your leg. Wonderful. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the other leg. We're going to use our block this time. So using the block, we're going to pop it down. So your left leg is going to be against the chair again, and your block is going to go underneath that left foot. So exactly like you did when we was in a seated position, you're going to grip your toes over the end of your block. You want to make sure that you've got a good grip on your chair or maybe a wall if that feels more comfortable. You know, if your back of your chair is quite low, maybe holding against the wall might feel a little better for this. Right hand on your hip, and then when you're ready, take an inhale, press yourself up. You're lifting that other leg off the floor, but you're gripping those toes. So again, you're creating some strength, working on your balance a little bit as well here, but also you're getting that grip with the toes. So we're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then really gently just lower back down. Oh, it was a big click then in my ankle. Did you hear it? Okay, we're going to do that one more time. So grip those toes. Make sure that you're gripping the toes before you lift up, okay? Because that's what's building that strength. When you're ready, inhale, lift up. Perfect. We're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then gently go down. Lovely. Let the toes relax for a second. We're going to do that one more time if we can. Grip those toes. When you're ready, inhale, lift, lift, lift. We're holding for 3, 2, 1, and then nice and gently lower down. Could you even see my head then, or did it go off camera? I'm not sure. Okay, so taking that to the other side. Again, you can counter this with some little foot rolls, maybe a little wiggle of the toes. And then let's take that to the other side. So right leg wants to be next to the chair or next to your wall if you're using the wall. Place the foot, we're gripping those toes around the end. Hand on hip. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift. We're holding, we're gripping for 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Gently lower down. Let the toes relax for a second. See if we can do 2 more. Grip the toes. When you're ready, inhale, lift. We're holding for 3, 2, 1. Down we go. Perfect. Take a rest for a moment and then one more time and then you can relax. We're going to grip those toes. Inhale, lift. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Nice and gently lower down. Wonderful. We're going to bring ourselves back into our seat. So we're going to end the practice in exactly the same way that we started, with a nice little foot rub. And this is just going to allow your feet to just gently relax again. So crossing the left ankle over your leg or popping it wherever's comfortable. Let's start to create that heat again in the hands. And then bring that heat over your feet. Nice and slow. Take your time with it. And it's just soothing the feet again, just allowing them to gently relax. Letting the toes just soften, those little joints in the toes. We can make sure that we rub the ankle, get a little bit of warmth there, and just allow those ankles to relax too. Perfect. Do that for as long as you need to. Again, you could rub again and go in one more time. Let's gently switch sides. Rub those hands, create that heat. And then give your right foot a little bit of attention. Remember to go over the heel, back of the heel, and over your ankle as well. Perfect. Lovely. When you're ready, you can just nice and gently relax. And that brings us to the end of this gentle feet and ankle yoga practice. I hope that you enjoyed this session. If you did, please give me a like, maybe leave me a comment, let me know how you got on. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining. Bye.